I'm currently sitting in the Porsche 911 GTS. This is the four-wheel drive version, well, all-wheel drive. They also make a rear drive version. You can get it in the coupe or in a convertible. Important things to know about the GTS. It's 430 horsepower, which is a 30 horsepower bump from the Carrera S, which it's not a huge performance increase, but it's just enough to set it apart. Really, the big deal with the GTS is that it looks different. You've got black trim on the outside and a bunch of Alcantara inside, so it's just a little bit more distinct, kind of at the top of the Carrera lineup. So you've got the GT3 and the turbo up here, more expensive and a little bit more hard charging. This is a slightly racier, just visually more distinct take on the Carrera 911. And now I'll shut up and you can just watch a lap. Here we are at Willow Springs. Let's see what happens. It feels like clickbait. Some idiot took a 911 out to Willow Springs. You'll never guess what happened next. I'm driving the 7-speed manual, though I will say in my earlier lapping in the 7-speed PDK transmission, that's their clutch automatic, well, kind of automatic, that thing is fantastic, man. The ability to just kind of sit back and let those gear changes happen seamlessly is really impressive. So there's nothing wrong with shifting gears yourself. For example, yes, yes. Oh, 911. It's fantastic. There we are. This is a tricky corner coming up here because I want to break in a straight line. There we are. Not too much that a car gets sideways. Coming up and over the blind crest. Stepping out. And now the fabled and super scary, depending on how you go into it, turn 8 and turn 9. Very fast. It's like 110 right there. That sounded douchey. I'm not meaning to diminish the importance of 110 miles an hour. But that's pretty quick. Turning into 9. This is the tricky one because if you turn in too early, it's easy to sort of go off the track. Blasting along the front straight. Let's see how quick we go. Is so much more docile than in years past. Like if I was doing this drive 25 years ago, I'd probably be off in the weeds butt first. But instead, I'm able to keep up with, well, not keeping up, this guy's going fairly slow. I'm following a dude who's driving a Turbo S. So he's definitely got the faster car, but he's also not driving like an idiot because he doesn't want me to drive like an idiot. About modern performance cars is that they're so quick, so controllable, and yet at the end of this event, we're going to drive right back onto the roads and we're just going to drive, have a comfortable stroll back over to Pasadena. It's incredible. Happens with the car. It steers like you hope it would. It's a golden era for sports cars. The GTS takes all those things that you really like about the Porsche 911, it just amplifies it ever so slightly. I suppose while we're cooling down here, I could dive into some of the details about what makes the GTS different from the standard 911 Carrera. Really, in a lot of ways, it comes down to the intake side of the engine. They've got this revised intake plenum that has these little flaps that allow for combustion chamber reverberations. It's all very complicated stuff. There's also a higher lift cam, and they've also ground down the intake port. So it's some technical stuff that yields about a 30 horsepower bump. Well, exactly a 30 horsepower bump. And I don't know, it's not that kind of radical changes that yield major increases in speed. 0 to 60 times, right around the 4-second range, and fastest form it's about 3.8. And the GTS will do almost 190 miles per hour at top speed, though not with me at the wheel and not on public streets. Maybe if you live in Germany, Porsche 911 GTS is not a radical step beyond the 911 Carrera or Carrera S, but it is just a little bit quicker and a little bit more distinct, a little bit more unique, a little bit more stylish, kind of slightly meaner looking. It takes all the things you love about the 911 and amplifies them just a little bit. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. It's a really long pause to answer my own question. There's nothing wrong with a slightly amplified 911.